So we are live. We are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. So my name is Santrisa, Coach Santrisa, and I want to welcome you to our show, talking to women entrepreneurs, just about our business and about the things that we deal with as entrepreneurs and much more information. So what I'm going to do, if you give me 1 second, I'm going to go on and I'm going to share this broadcast, and I'm going to ask you guys as well, my speakers, to share so that we can build our audience on today. So if I will share it to my page. I hope everybody had an amazing day. Welcome you to our audience on today. And remember to cut your volumes down when we share. And I want to welcome you to our share. If you can, again, just mute your phones on today. I will share it to my page. Somebody's volume is up still. Somebody's volume is up still. Remember to cut your volume
Whose
down.
is that? I don't know whose it is.
I don't know.
So again, I want to welcome everyone to our show. And again, we are going to have an amazing show on today as we share about our businesses, our new businesses, our old business ventures that we still have going on. And just, we ask that you like, share, comment, share the broadcast if you are on. Again, thank you for tuning in. So a little about myself. My name is Coach Santrisa. I am an international author as well as an international speaker. I penned the book Releasing My Secret. And so what I do is I come on and we have a show that's entitled Reset, which is Inspired by You Presents, right? Another kind of topic where we come on and we talk about life issues, life situations, things that are relatable to those who watch. The key part of Inspired by You is that we produce things that cause you to say, I'm changing because I am inspired by you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to meet our guest on today. And first, I will ask for Alicia, if you would introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your business and a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me, Santrisa.
Welcome.
My name is Alicia Baker, and I am the owner of A to Z Germ Busters, which is a disinfecting and sanitizing company. I am also the owner of Ultimate Impressions Beauty Salon, located in Long Branch, New Jersey. What inspired me to open the A to Z Germ Busters LLC was my salon was shut down. Unbeknownst to me, I mean, we only had a couple of hours before we had to shut down on March 19th, and I was deemed not an essential business. So I decided to open an essential business. So this way, if my salon is ever shut back down, can still have an income. And, I had to think of something quick to do in order to continue to have an income. Mm-hmm. So I made myself essential to the world. And like I said, once my company's name is A to Z Germ Busters LLC, and we deal with the COVID, we deal with staph, we deal with MRSA, we deal with all bacteria, germs, and viruses. We steam clean and we fog, whatever your personal homes, nursing homes, wheelchairs, medical, any other medical device. We steam the germs, bacteria, and viruses all away, guys. And it is kind of tough dealing with the COVID because sometimes we don't know really, what we're going to walk into, although it says, a facility may say, yes, we have a high amount of COVID here. But it's like when you walk in there, it's like we are really, we have our PPE suits going, we have everything because we're going to protect the people who ever are in that specific facility, whether it's a religious facility, like I said, your personal home, wherever, but we fight the COVID, guys. We get it. At my hair salon, I've been in business doing hair for 21 years as a salon owner. but over 30 years as a New Jersey state licensed cosmetologist. So both of these are my babies. I love them. And, hopefully I can see someone soon, either in my salon or me fighting COVID staph or any other germs, viruses, and bacteria, wherever you guys are.
Thank you so much, Alicia.
You're
So
welcome.
we're going to have Lydia, if you could introduce yourself and your business and tell us a little bit about your business and yourself this evening.
Certainly. Thank you for having me, inspired by you. Um, my name is Lydia Peart, and I am the owner of LP Consulting. And LP Consulting um, really was birthed, I would say, launched through the COVID pandemic. Um, However, I have been consulting for over 25 years. Um, and so what came of that when we were all shut down and sheltered in place, the phones were still ringing. People were still reaching out and asking questions on having to have to revisit their business plans, um, trying to figure out how they're going to do other kinds of work to get sustainability. And being that that was where I was, working and consulting with businesses and nonprofits and for profits, sitting on boards and coming up with protocols and logistic models and doing a lot of interviewing and negotiating. All of these things I was doing for free over the years. And so when all of things came to a stop, I decided, much thought, much prayer, that this was the perfect time to launch LP Consulting. I've been a boss for a long time. I've been administrator for a long time, but this is different. This is my baby. This is what I do. And on top of the consulting, I'm also a coach. So the business coach piece is a little different from the business consulting. I'm very technical with the business consulting. The business coaching, it depends on what my client wants. If they want, free and, over the top and over the moon, that's where we're going. But and I like the diversity of that. I get to tap into who I am, and just really accentuate the strengths and the weaknesses. And anybody that knows me, and our host can definitely tell you, I'm about real talk. All right. I'm no frills, right? I am definitely a reality checker. And so I bring that skill set and that authenticity to it. And so that has been through these months that we've been going through this, and me launching this business and really taking it, to the next level. I've seen leaps and bounds of where the possibilities are for this.
Well, thank you, Lydia. Thank you for sharing with us. And Marty, can you share with us about your business, about yourself?
Sure. Hi, Centrisa. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
So I'm the owner of G2 Rockers, and like everyone else here, COVID kind of like woke me up as to like I should be home with my family and really minimizing the exposure. So, um, started G2 Rockers, which is a one-stop shop it's focused for parents who have children with special needs, particularly transitioning from food like a G tube to table food. So I have the onesie with the custom hole for easy access to the feeding tube. And I've basically made that my focus since COVID, not wanting to go back into the workforce with a special needs child. E-commerce is kind of fun, pretty cool. You get to do a lot of product research. It's a lot of analyzing. I like that stuff. So I've kind of become a serial e-commerce person. So I have a few shops online. All of them solve a problem. Not all of them are towards special needs, but my baby is the G2 Rockers. I have my daughter modeling the little outfits for the website, and it's really, later on down the line, I would like to advocate and be more into the community and do some community work, but with COVID you can't. So I've been just joining networking groups and just trying to build my community before even like building sales more than anything.
Well, thank you, Marty. Again, thank you guys for coming. So I was listening to all you talk, right? So Alicia, you said something that's really stood out to me, right? Which is called you made yourself essential, right? And so like what does that, because I think a lot of people, everybody says, okay, COVID caused me to step up my game. COVID caused me to open up my business, right?
Yes.
So what was like your drive behind that? Like, I know you said your shop closed and things like that, but like you said, so like what was really like your drive behind it? Like besides, besides the shop.
Well, my
And say, like, instead of you saying like, well, let me open up a store. You know what I mean? Like some people would say, me, I was like, listen, we need to go buy a corner store and put a couple bottles of water in the store and just so we could stay open, right?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, you get to that point to where everything's going on, everything shuts down and your job closes and you're like, okay, what do I do now? So how did you find your passion in that?
Okay. It started with actually, like you said, with me being shut down and not having one drop of income. Okay. Um, my uncle really inspired me to open the business. It was originally supposed to be a business for just steam cleaning medical devices and things like that. Dialysis units, the facilities, the beds, hospital beds, and things like that. Because in my research, I found out that it takes 211 degrees to kill germs, bacteria, and viruses. However, our machine is 375 Fahrenheit. So once we steam anything, you know, all germs, bacteria, and viruses are dead. And then we go behind it and we fog. So that's double. But my uncle, him and his wheelchair really inspired me to do this. I tried to clean the wheelchair, just wiping it down with bleach and stuff. It wasn't working. It just was still dirty. And I said, you know what? I need a steam cleaner, a blaster with some steam, you know? And then it was like, bing, okay, you can kill germs, viruses, and bacteria that live on porous and non-porous surfaces with steam. I don't know if people know that, but you can. It just has to be the correct Fahrenheit for you to kill it. Now, that's where I got my idea from. And then my daughter, my brother, and my son are also a part of the company.
That's good.
And they said, well, let's include disinfecting, for COVID. I said, you know what? That's good. So it's double with us. We steam and we fog. Where other companies, the difference between my company and other companies is that other companies just fog. No, we kill everything and make sure nothing's on it, and then we fog.
Listen, sometimes they say that in the summertime, like all germs and stuff down, like over hit 100 degrees and you're like 200. I'm over here like, wait, hold on.
211 degrees, yeah.
I thought the cold was gonna kill it. Like, everybody be like, oh, because I'm like, I wish it would snow because to kill all the germs. Listen, you just really opened up my eyes. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm asking for snow. Maybe I should ask for some more heat or something.
But that's why the COVID, the doctors and the scientists and everyone was saying that the COVID couldn't really live in the heat. Okay, that's why you rarely heard of the COVID. It was in Jamaica and things like that, but it wasn't as strong in those countries as it was here. We have the change in the seasons here. They're constantly hot. So you didn't really hear of too many deaths as much as the US has had in those other countries that stay with that climate that is, very hot. So with that being said, you have to kill it with heat. And that's all Mercer staff. I mean, all of the germs, bacteria, and viruses. And even in my salon, I kill stuff with heat. You have to. and then you refog. And my disinfectant is effective for up to 90 days, even in high traffic areas. So if someone comes into my salon with COVID on their hands, staff, anything, no, because COVID lives on metal. It lives on
Yeah.
everything that you touch.
Yeah.
Now, if someone comes into my salon, the COVID or anything that they bring in there cannot survive in my salon
Yeah.
because of the disinfectant that I use to fog.
That's why I go there, y'all. I'm just teasing. I'll walk out clean.
So you can touch anything in my salon and don't have to worry about getting any kind of bacterial infections and all of this stuff going on out here. And it's a lot. We have no idea the millions of things that we touch with our hands daily.
Yeah, that's so true. I think because you just do so much with your hands, and I think it was just so hard, even in the transition, where you're just like, okay, sanitize. Like I always wash my hands, but then it's like the extra step for everything, right? So, Madi, right? So just hearing your story and just even knowing you, right? How was the transition? Right? Because a lot of times there's a lot of people out there who leave corporate, right? And then they go into and they want to be an entrepreneur. And some people think like, some people get worried about it. Some people are, they're kind of like, should I, shouldn't I? So can you speak to that? Like just the transition part? Because I geared women this go around because as a mom or just as a woman, we have so many responsibilities, right? And even me working in a corporate setting, and then it's like you spend more time with your coworkers than you do with your actual family, right? And then we have to rush home. We got to make dinner. We got to prep the kids, homework, everything gets done. You got to check everything. And so how was that transition for you?
I was able to cheat a little bit.
Okay.
So I was able to take like a disability when my daughter was sick, like maybe the third time, like an extended disability where I wasn't like juggling it with dad or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was able to stay home and basically learn this feeding tube. During that time, I literally became the most needy person I have ever known myself to be. Okay. I'm the problem solver. I'm the person that people come to. You know this. So you come to me and it's like, I always want to solve your problems. And here I am with like this huge life changing problem. I have this newborn baby at 40 years old almost. My son is graduating high school and my whole life is like starting all over again. So I got to play with being an entrepreneur in that 3 month time. Now I enjoyed it, but I missed socializing with everyone. Like I missed having breakfast with you, and I missed having meetings and scheduling my lunch, and the bacon, egg, and cheese every day, and the coffee in the cafeteria. I missed that. I missed this so much. So I tried to juggle both. So I opened up my LLC like a year ago, and I basically just did research the first year, and I was trying to figure out like I didn't know if I wanted a real storefront, if I wanted to do e-commerce. I didn't know if I wanted to sell a service, if I wanted to sell a product. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I wanted to have a solution. So I spent those 3 months researching, went back to work, loved the social part of it. And then here we go back to COVID. I couldn't socialize. So with that learning curve that I had, I took that time and I was like, okay, well, I already have an LLC. I already have something that I know I want to produce. I already have a vendor. The only thing I don't have is a budget really, but I mean, I am kind of like winging it for the past year anyway, and I have a lot of support. So, the transition was easy for me because I was able to prepare for it. But now that I don't know how long this is going to be, where I can't go to I schedule so many trade shows and networking events and things like that, that I don't even know if I'll be able to attend. That's that part is like, okay, so I have to try to carve out 4 hours a day to do some work for myself, and then I'll try to take a walk with the baby and try to schedule everything in. So I'm still learning how to transition completely.
I think that's the hard part, right? Because it's like for me, I was juggling both. And then it's the balance because everybody demands your time. And you're like, I'm trying to build a business. Like, my phone's always ringing. I'm always doing something. And so it's just kind of like, even transitioning into say, okay, now I want to be an entrepreneur, right? Now I want to turn my hobby, what I enjoy doing, what I've been doing, into a business, right? Because I've been doing it. Why not get paid for it? Even though I believe, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that some things should just stay a hobby if you're not ready to be an entrepreneur. And I think that, you know, like some people, they start businesses and they get upset, but it requires so much time, right? So much, it's so time consuming. But Lydia, I heard you say that you turned what you did, right? Into your business. And so can you speak to that, even just transitioning your passion into your business? Because some people really, I say this, I have know someone who has a business, right? And they were starting a business. And it was their hobby, is what they enjoyed doing, but they could not offer that customer service that was required for that business, right? And so it's not that you're a failure. I think sometimes you just have to reevaluate what you're doing, because you have to understand that, you know, when you open up a business, you start a business, it's so time consuming. So Lydia, can you just speak to that, like in regards to, you know, you're in a corporate setting, but you're starting your business, right? And so that was your passion. That's something you enjoy doing. You're really good at, I must say. And so can you speak to that point?
Well, certainly, I think, and I'm listening to everyone, and I'm like, oh, I can resonate with that. I can resonate with that. So you hit the nail on the head. It can be your hobby, your passion, but there has to be a thought process before you begin to really um, launch out, because you know how they say count up the costs, because you have to be a believer in your product. You are the first, and you have to be able to sell it to yourself. And why do I say that? Because it's going to require, when sales are not happening, when you don't have any clients, when things are just not seeming like they're lining up, but you have to believe in yourself. And not only that, you have to be willing to invest in yourself.
Mhm.
So you're going to be able, and so it's not always money, but are you going to value your time? I heard her sharing that she has to set her scheduling, and it's a schedule that can be modified. You know, it's not etched in stone, but you have to have a template. You have to be willing to commit time to it. It's your baby. Like if you have a baby, you got to nurture it, right? You
Mhm.
have to have a feeding time. You have
Right.
to have some poop time, right? There's some times when things are not always comfortable. We lose a little sleep. We got to do some research. We have to learn our craft, right? COVID might have sped some things into motion. However, the need or the demand was there. It just enhanced because of the pandemic. However, it behooves us, or it benefits us as entrepreneurs, women, to do our due diligence and do our research, right? Commit that time to searching out your product. Know who your competitors are. You know, what if we're all doing the same thing? What am I doing, or what am I offering a little different than what's being offered? And what's my, I would say, my touch to it? And I wanted to speak, I wanted to speak as far as an entrepreneur and having to make that transition, letting those around you who are used to you being the go-to person, kind of let them know what's going on with you right now, because they don't understand that you have a drive, you have, you're committed to this, and they may not see the vision like you see it. They still want mom, they still want wife, they want sister, they want friend, co-worker. They want to still be able to have access, and you might not be quite available because why? You're birthing a business. And not only that, you're committing to doing it the right way. Who wants to start off just haphazardly and have to be in business today and out of business by the end of the week? You want
Absolutely.
to have a great plan. You want to be able to look at the budget. I heard budget. We be like, we winging it, but guess what? I heard you say in the beginning, you start getting cash apps and people. Yeah, it requires money when you're starting a business.
Yeah.
And everybody, when you say, oh, I'm with you, your whole team, it could be family members. But then when we all got to put money in, they like, well, I'm not going to be, I'm going to think I'm going to give me a part-time. You know what I mean? And, and that's what it requires. It requires that all in, and not being, are we going to have times when we just not making the money, but I heard something else. We might be making the connections, the networking, potential funding, right?
Right.
That's the entrepreneur thought, is that, okay, this particular, I'm going to this trade show, I'm going on to this particular vendor event. I may not sell anything, but I'm putting my name out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm getting the word out. And guess what? I'm checking out my competition. I'm finding out what not to do, because
Absolutely.
Agree.
I'm seeing that that's not it.
Mhm.
And I'm seeing my niche.
Mhm.
And I'm big on knowing our capacity. I'm not taking on stuff that my capacity is not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what I mean? I like it. I thank you for the opportunity, but can I keep that door open so that I can come back when my capacity is there? Because people have been throwing stuff at me, and I'm like, I know I don't have the time for that. I'm setting myself up. I'm just not going to do that. But I like the opportunity that they see me, and they see that I have something to bring to the table. So the transition as a woman, we still have to, again, we have that same drive like men. I tell them, my kids tease me. They call me Lala. They say that Lala's about her coins. Yes, I am about my coins, but I have a drive, and I know that. And so me being alpha female and having been in the corporate world and still in a situation where it's male dominated, and I want to speak up and not sound like I'm an angry, aggressive woman, but I got something to say. I have to kind of balance that. But as a women entrepreneur and birthing my business, I come to the table prepared. I'm not looking at my gender. You may see me as a woman, but that's not what's working here. When LP Consulting, you're not just getting a woman want to come and rearrange your business and tell you how to do. I was sharing with someone, when I'm consulting, you're my client. I'm giving you recommendations. If you don't want to take it, it's fine. You didn't hire me for that. All right. But if you're a coach, I'm coaching you, I'm birthing out what you're telling me you want to do. But sometimes when they see our exterior, like you said, customer service, our presentation, they think that we're going to come and take over. That's not what we do. And as women, a lot of times we have to prove that we don't want their job. We don't want their job. We got our own job. And so a lot of that behind the scenes stuff goes on. We all have perfect products we want to present, but sometimes we have to make them feel comfortable in the room and make them feel like, what's this woman about to say, what she's about to do. And then once they get past that and see that we bring in quality service, then they're able to feel comfortable. And I know our counterparts don't have to go do all that. They show up and they do the job. Women have to kind of prove something first, and then they take us seriously.
I think one of the
all
key
that,
things,
but that just came up and out.
I think one of the key things that you said and that people should realize is that again, the work behind being an entrepreneur, right? I think the key thing is to be prepared. Because a lot of times we're not prepared. Like, are you an entrepreneur? You're starting a business, have a business card. Be able to say, if I say to you, they say, what is that? The 10-second elevator speech, right?
Yes.
That they talk about all the time. You need to be prepared to talk about your business. I remember when I was starting out last year and someone would ask me about, what do you do? And I was like, right? Because I'm like, wait, what you mean? What do I do? Like, you know what I do. Like, you see my my cards, you see my book, you know what I do. But you need to be able to communicate that, right? You need to be able to say that, to say what you do. Do you carry around your business card? Do you have any business cards? Or do you just have a piece of paper that you're writing your number on that you give to people and tell them to call you? You have to be
about presentation, right?
You have to be prepared.
You have to
at all costs.
Know your phone number.
Yeah. But you have to be prepared at all costs, right? So what I want is everybody to kind of speak to maybe like a struggle that you think someone can relate to as you started your business, right? For me, I think it was I think it was two things. I think it was the time factor, nobody really understanding time. that is very time consuming, that my phone stays on constantly, right? I think it's been a little over a year since I launched Inspired by You. And this past weekend was the first time that I actually didn't take my laptop with me to travel, right? And didn't check any emails. And I missed one. My first one, I felt so bad, you guys. I felt so bad. And so, but luckily it wasn't something like that, but it was just like I felt so bad about it, right? But then I was like, I needed this time. But again, I've been in business for over a year and I've already established my name. I've already established my company. I already established my clients, right? But in the beginning, no one really understands your time. So I dealt with that. I dealt with people thinking that you got a business, you got money, you look good on paper, you look good on social media, you got a great, pictures and, but it's a lot of investment that goes into starting business, right? Because you're your brand, right? So you have to brand your business. So those are the certain things that I struggle with. So why don't we, go around and just kind of talk about what your possible struggle could have been. And for those who are watching, like, if you have any questions that you may want to ask, if you're thinking about starting a business, please feel free to put it in the comment section. We'll try to address it as best as we can. In regards to whatever question that you ask. So if we could just start and just talk about something that you would tell someone that they may run up against in regards to starting a business. It could be, time. And if you say it's time, well, how did you manage your time? How did you kind of resolve that problem? So don't just, tell the problem, but kind of even address how we can resolve that problem.
I highly recommend those ready-made meals. I can't remember the name of it right now, but remember I used to eat them in lunchtime. So here's the thing. I have like a baby that's just transitioning to table food. So everything is mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, no rice, no spaghettis, nothing she can choke on. So we're supposed to eat 3 times a day, right? So she's supposed to eat 3 times a day. So that's like 6 meals a day that I have to make, and hers are always different from mine. So I found that when you have those order in services, I can't remember the name of it right now. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank, but it's really good. They bring you like two meals per day, and it could be your like one person's dinner and lunch if you wanted to switch it up, or it can be like mom and dad's dinner for one day, and you only have to worry about lunch and breakfast. That thing saves you so much time, and it's really cheap. It's like $34.99 for 6 meals, and it's really good. And that frees up like 2 hours because now I'm not cleaning the kitchen. Now I'm not doing any pots. I'm not doing any of that. So that's a good way to save time. Other than that, my alarm gets ignored. I haven't figured out how to. I thought setting alarms would help. Doesn't happen. I just snooze them all day. I have post-its throughout my office. I end up closing the office door. So I don't know. I'm struggling.
That's okay. That's okay. Alicia.
Well, for me, with my salon, I had to make sure I was in a position financially. I had to, I had to have that cushion for myself because not all days or all weeks or all months you're going to be making money. I don't want up and coming entrepreneurs to think that every day you are making money. No, sometimes you don't make money. Sometimes you don't. A lot of times since I've been in business, I haven't even been able to pay myself. And with that being said, that's where the cushion, your little escrow that you set aside for the rainy days that you're in business, that's where that money comes in handy to be able to keep you afloat. Now, the up and coming entrepreneurs, you can't make money and spend it. You have to be able to budget, have your business account set aside from your personal account because you will be in a world of trouble if you don't. You're making the money, but you're spending it as fast as you're making it. Buying these cars, buying this, buying that. Yes, you're going to make money. You're definitely going to make money, but you have to budget. That was a stickler for me. I mean, and I've always been a budgeter, so that was really good for me when I actually got in business. And believe me, it was really some rainy days. And I was so happy that I was able to turn back to, some accounts that I have and stuff like that to be able to pay my bills, especially during COVID. you know, especially during COVID. There's no way that I would have been able to sustain my salon because listen, my landlord did not care. He wants his money. My overhead companies, they want their money. They don't care if you're closed or you're open or whatever, you know? I mean, they don't care about all that. They want their stuff. Now, you have to learn to budget. So I would say financial stability, like give yourself a cushion, you know, something you would be able to turn back to in times of need because you're going to need it. You know, that's what I would say.
That's good advice. Lydia?
So I would say two things came to mind. One was the old saying, "Is a poor frog doesn't praise his own pond," right? As an entrepreneur, up and coming entrepreneur, as you said, you have to be able to speak well of what you do. And even when things are not going well, you need to keep that close to self, and you've always speaking well of your business, and as long as your business, I don't care if the balance is zero, right? You're speaking well of it, because once you begin to think of it as that, it's like a spiral, and then you might as well just close up shop. So I would speak well of it until you decide. If you're in business for an hour, you're still in business, you're speaking well of it. And the other thing, I piggyback about the budgeting part. You have to has set goals. All right. I believe in thinking big and wanting big, but some things are phased in. Phase one, phase two. You have to have some targeted goals. Remember, I was talking about capacity. You have to have targeted goals. Okay, so and then guess what? Because you are the creator of the goal, if you don't meet it, you don't kill yourself. All right. You said we want to get this target amount of revenue here. We want to do this. All right, you do a little debriefing, you do a little looking back and see, okay, what were the barriers? What were the guardrails that caused me not, I mean, the demand was there, I had the product, why didn't it happen? So you just revisit what could have happened or what have happened, and we don't do the same thing to get the same results. But you look back at that, but you had a goal. Is again, if I could say anything to up and coming, do not shoot from the hip. Have a plan. Be ready to implement a plan, and be ready to modify the plan based on your target goal, your target audience, and the goal of the revenue and money that you want to make. And again, count the cost. If your overhead and different things, sometimes I always think about people that want to sell dinners, right? And I don't knock anybody who want to sell these dinners, right? But if you do all this work and selling these dinners and you don't have no plan, we all gonna get together, we're gonna cook, we're gonna make these plans, and then y'all make $100, right? That was not a well thought out plan. Y'all could have just had potluck and just then call it a selling dinners. You have to really, what is going to be the profit? Anything when I'm talking to clients and talking about business development or programming, you can have a demand. Okay, how much is it going to cost to get this up and going? How much is it going to cost to keep it maintained? What is the payroll going to be? Because that's most of everything, the overhead. After we paid everybody, all right, what do we have left? Can we sustain with that? That doesn't mean we don't have to do it. But if all we have is 2% profit, we have to come up with some other supplements.
Yes, you have to figure out a way to
going, and so that eventually it will get into a routine and it will generate funds. But if we don't have a plan and we start seeing this 1%, 2%, it's going to be so discouraging, and we're going to walk away from that very that thing that we said was our passion, and the thing that we invested so much time and effort. So the two things are definitely looking at your budget, looking at, be prepared to cut back, streamline, have a goal in mind, right? You want to see yourself not just in business for a couple of months. You want to see you're planning to be in business for a while. And guess what? Sometimes we do a thing, we start a business, and in the midst of that business, something else is birthed. Think of yourself as having multiple funds. You know, you started off with this, But when you were doing this, you saw the opportunity for something else. It's nothing wrong, women, entrepreneurs having multiple businesses. It didn't say that we have to be there every day at all these businesses, but we need to get them up and going. And the last thing I'm going to say, anybody know me, let's not do the shortcuts, all right? Let's do it right the first time. Let's be legit. Let's register our businesses, right?
Absolutely.
Let's do the right paperwork, okay? Let's file our taxes. Let's do the things. So if anybody wants, our competitors, everybody's savvy. They Google us, they watch us, right? Stuff is public knowledge. And when we start making the coins, if we didn't do stuff up and above board, people want to come take us down and they catch us slipping. So let's do what we're supposed to do right. Register our business, pay the money to be registered. Do what you need to do. If you're a nonprofit, get your paperwork in place. Yes, at the beginning, it's costly. What you say, you get them Cash App requests, right? You have to do that. But the long run, it will pay off. You know why? Because things are turning for small businesses. There's funding out there. There's grants out there. There's money to be had. There's money on the table. But it's only for businesses that are legit. Because even if you get the money, and you ain't have no piece of paper.
That's right.
You want to be the one that they come after, okay? I'm sorry that I went off on something else.
No, but it's the truth. We actually was talking about that earlier today, and some people are like, I want to have a business, I want to start, but let me try it out first, right? It's nothing wrong with getting a free EIN number from gov.gov, right? I mean, from irs.gov, right? Mm-hmm. Become legit. Right. And so that you could do things right, so that when things start progressing for you, you don't have to backtrack. You don't have to worry about that. Listen, and it's like you guys were saying, you have to plan, right? You don't have to think like, okay, I have this business. Now I need a 10-page website and I need this big email, this like all these expenses that people try to incur to make their business look like it's bona fide. You can have a nice setup, you can start, and it's not necessarily a shortcut, right? But it's things out there and businesses out there who will help you, like GoDaddy, for instance. You could get a website from GoDaddy, you could buy your domain, it's anywhere from 99 cents and up, depending on what your domain is, but you can play with it before you buy it. And a lot of times they'll give you a free 1-page website, right? And so even though you say, oh, well, I don't want to do that, but listen, if it's free for 1 year after you buy your domain and that's all you have to work with, you make it work, right? I'm a small business mentor, and I look at people's budgets and I look at people's finances, and sometimes I'm like, honey, listen, we're going to get a Google number, right? And we're going to attach that Google number to your cell phone. And, okay, you can't buy your email address right now. We're going to get a Gmail, or I would say, okay, invest into an email address that says, something with your business name on the back end of it. It's nothing wrong with that, right? But you have to start somewhere. You can't shortcut it. You can't think that, let me just start, because then you're not going to truly experience entrepreneurship. You have your up days, you have your down days, you have, again, the days that you make sales. You have days where you make money, days that you don't. I traveled somewhere way out of state to go to a book event and probably sold about 2 books that day. My name, and I was able to network, but sometimes you have to count your losses too. And then you sit back and then you reevaluate, okay, well, what did I do? What was the situation? Sit back and write everything down and look at it. How could I have done something different, right? Because a lot of times we go, and then as soon as we hit failure, you want to quit. And that's the time when you come back to the table and reevaluate. You also have to sit down and focus in on one success at a time, right? I think that if you overwhelm yourself, some people can't do 2, 3, 4, 5 things at a time. So you, a lot of times, and not even just in business. So you a lot of times you find people that say, I always start something but never finish. Right. So start your business, and if you want to bake cakes, get good at it, get really good at it, take a class, side classes, right? Invest in yourself, invest in your business, educate yourself. I hear everybody talk about, constant educating myself. I did the research, right? And you have to do that. You have to do the research on what you want to do. And once you get good at cakes, then incorporate a cupcake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then incorporate a cookie. But don't present something where you're going to be overwhelmed and then you're going to want to quit.
I agree.
You have to find that balance somewhere, right?
I agree.
Marty, I really appreciate you saying buy already pre-made meals, because it's true, especially being a parent and you have to prepare it. And if you don't want to buy it, you guys, listen, that's why they got slow cookers. I don't know who use slow cookers anymore. I don't know if y'all, I used to use slow cookers all the time. All the time. Put meat in the slow cooker, come home, only have to make the sides, right? Because that's what we do. You do what you have to do to kind of make things work, right? Because it's very time consuming as an entrepreneur to, to start off, to maintain. And then self-care, like, okay, so you have to work on self-care. What do you do to self-care? Whether it's a bubble bath, whether it's 10 minutes quiet time, what do you do to self-care? What does self-care look like to you, Alicia?
What does self-care look like to me? I don't know. So big. It's like I'm so busy, and that's not good, but I am so busy, but sometimes I do just like I zone out wherever I am sometimes just to have 5 minutes of me time. But I did want to add something. Also, self-motivation is important. You have to be self-motivated. You can't want to be an entrepreneur and have different people in your ear, especially if they are not an entrepreneur. You're always going to get people in your ear. Oh, why'd you do this? And that one opened up something over there. Why are you opening up yours here? And that one sells this. And why are you? No, you can't listen to anyone else. You have to listen to self. Self is who is going to make you grow. And the motivation that you give yourself, that's going to make you grow. In anything that you decide to do, anything you decide to open, like you said, you decide you want to bake cupcakes, you got to start somewhere and branch off from there. Only self can do that. As long as you are listening to other people, non-entrepreneurial, okay? Not going to work. So with me, that self-motivation, and I mean, everyone that knows me, my family, everyone, I'll get an idea and I'm like, I'm out. I'm going to do it. Because I don't need anyone else to say yay or nay to me. I'm going, Alicia wants it. I'm going to go and get it. I'm going to do it. That's the way an entrepreneur thinks. And everybody is right as far as having multiple streams of income, legit multiple streams of income, because you will eventually end up benefiting from it being a legit company, just like Lydia said. So you have to be self-motivated, have that financial cushion at least, listen to yourself. Don't listen to others. Listen to yourself. If you say, I'm going to do this or I want to do that, don't let anything stop you. Go for it. The only thing stopping you from being a successful entrepreneur is you. Yeah. And I tell everyone that up and coming entrepreneurs, they come into the salon, they talk to me. I'm like, go for it. Your fear is holding you back, but you want to keep working a 9 to 5 and complaining and then quitting every couple of years and things like that. No, you can make quadruple the money of what you're making working for someone else. And I tell people all the time, I don't care what you open something. You don't even have to have a brick and mortar. Today with technology, a lot of things are online. Everything is online. Technology took over everything. So you don't necessarily need a brick and mortar, to say, okay, I'm in business. No, turn to technology, but you have to be self-motivated. You can't listen to everyone. And that's a lot of up and coming entrepreneurs' downfalls. Well, this one said this to me and this one said that. You can't listen to everybody. Self-motivate, be self-motivated and go ahead and do what you said you want to do. That's why I do have multiple streams of income. I also have another company, which Tree, which is my weave business, my hair business. I do sell weave, I sell lashes, I sell, eyeshadow, I sell all of that stuff. And it's doing good. It's doing good. So you do have to have multiple streams of income. Well, you don't have to have it, but for me, I like having multiple streams of legitimate income, you know, but I'm self-motivated to do it. I don't let anyone else tell me yay or nay, Alicia. Nope. Well, that's not going to work. Why are you doing this? You know what? I've had several people tell me that, and that pushes me harder.
Mm-hmm.
That pushes me harder because I'm like, no, they said I can't do it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. You know, it's a challenge. And 9 times out of 10, when I go ahead and do it because I'm self-motivated, I'm successful at it. My businesses are booming. They're nice. They're good.
That's
So I
key.
just want to add that self-motivation in there.
And that's key. You have to motivate you. Listen, if you don't believe in yourself, who will? People treat you the way that you treat yourself, right? So if you have a product and you're unsure of it, when I became a coach 3 years ago, and it was kind of like, okay, I'm a certified coach, but it's hundreds, thousands of certified coaches. I think everybody got certified as a coach, right? But it's kind of like, what makes me stand out, right? What is my thing? Because I'm not like every other coach. I'm not like every other business mentor in regards to, you know, just my profession and what I do. And again, that was something that it was my passion that I turned into income. It was something I was already doing, but now it's turned into income because I understood and I got clarity on what I do. You know, what capacity that I function in as a coach. I'm certified to coach in any area of anybody's life. However, I always tell people I'm a trauma recovery coach. I'm a certified trauma recovery coach because I've gone through things and I've come out of those things, and I'm able to go back and pull other people forward who feel like they're stuck because they went through some type of traumatic experience, whether it's being homeless, whether it's, you know, I was homeless, or I had a child who was, you know, born 24 weeks gestation, and, you know, I've been in a fire situation. So, you know, sexually assaulted. So it's so many different layers and so many different people in different areas that I can speak to. But I'm not just going to say I'm just an ordinary, you know, coach. No, I have a specialty. You know, I'm a certified I'm not proclaimed coach. I'm a certified coach, and I did the research. I got the paper behind it, the schooling behind it. So you have to. And I had to believe in myself.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many coaches, people are looking for coaches. Everybody's not for you. Everybody who's looking for cakes, or everybody who's looking for a beautician is not going to come to your shop. Right. But you will have people who will come to you, who will, you know, you'll take care of. And that's what we have to remember. If write affirmations, quote affirmations to yourself. I'm a big affirmation person. I'm a very big journal person. I'm like, journal out your thoughts, get it out. And yeah, I'm human. I have days where I want to be like, I'm done. But you have to continue to push yourself. You have to continue to push yourself. You have to continue to encourage yourself. And that's why I was talking about self-care, because it's not always going away, because people have that illusion too. They think because you're an entrepreneur, you can just pack up and leave and go whenever you want to. Now, understanding that you don't got vacation days, you know, you don't have sick time. So sometimes you got to push through that. So we have to understand that as well. So what does self-care look to you, Marty? Look like to you?
Well, I did my hair today.
Listen, that's a plus. Not for you. I'm just saying in general, because some people don't even get to that. I think, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I did my hair, and honestly, like I know it's work related, but it's kind of like working towards the goal, taking care of myself. I like doing my product research. I like finding out, you know, who's clicking on my ad and where they're clicking on it. And, you know, I like finding the statistics of the people who are following me and the sales that I got. I like to, I don't know if that's self-care. It's more like work, but I enjoy it. So, and I did my hair today, so that's pretty good. And I've been eating lately, so, you know, because I'm up all night, you know, I don't have a real schedule, so I'm all off. But, you know, so far it's been pretty good with like just having fun with my businesses and just researching. That's my self-care.
That's good though. I mean, even if it's 5 minutes out the day, you know, even if you was in an office setting, they give you a 5-10 minute break. So even if you take that 5 minutes and just step away to recoup your mind, to meditate, to look on social media to see who's posting what, you know, whatever it may be. I mean, I check the feed to my my website all the time to see how many people looked at it in a week, how many people looked at it in a month, right? What can I do to kind of update it? But I mean, you have to take that time out for yourself. Something, even if it's five minutes, 10 minutes. Lydia, what does self-care look like for you?
Well, I'm going to try to just put it in a capsule because
Uh-huh.
I definitely do like to get away, but COVID, curtailed some of my things because I did that even with the corporate schedule. But I definitely think that you need to take time to make sure that you are eating properly. For me, just taking time out, making sure I'm taking care of me. And that might be just a pedicure, that may be a manicure, that might be going to get some lashes, but something that I'm saying, and I'm not, I've always had a me time because being a young mother with children, I just know I learned very early to get me some me time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the more you take on, you need that mental break. And you need to
Absolutely.
have that time where you can just regroup your thoughts
Mm-hmm.
and kind of not be all over the place and get a little bit more focused. I tease sometimes and say my LLPPGG's kicking in, my concentration span. And then I'm an avid reader. I don't just read the Bible, I read other things. I go and I read. That's my time to go off and just kind of, I'm not worrying about emails, and it may not be for like an hour, it may be just 15 minutes that I read something. I went into the bathroom and hid away from the family and I read something. Then I come back and I try to, because I'm such a, you know that about me, Santrisa, I work off a to-do list, but a flexible one, because I don't freak out if I don't do all the things on my to-do list. But I just have to chart myself to see where I'm going so that I can plan for tomorrow. I'm a planner. So but I walk away from the plan and go regroup. I don't go make a glass of wine, but I may do a glass of ginger ale, with a lot of ice. And I'll sit and I'll regroup, and then I'll come back. But I got to do, and I may do like several of those, right? But that's just my way of just debriefing, decompressing, and then getting back on my grind. Right now, I'm probably not the right person because I'm such on the grind right now, and I got a lot of stuff going on. I got so much stuff going on that I'm trying to maintain my cha-chings that I really don't have that time that I would like, but I'm taking them in increments because I know it's important for our mental health to step away from it for a minute. But then we got to get right back to it. And when we get to a place where, we can hire some more people, then I won't have to do this. But that's what self-care means for me today.
So I just wanted to interject after, what was being said. And just to say this, right? I know that, sometimes people think self-care, again, it could be a minute, it could be 2 minutes. It's just really just that step back, that takeaway, that deep breath. Let me go get some quick air and come back. I know and understand firsthand from when you start off a business, you're always on that grind because you don't really have a staff. So that means I have to be the secretary, I got to be the accountant, I got to be the receptionist, I got to be the go get me lunch person, right? And then,
You're everything.
Yeah, everything. You do everything when you first start your business. And then as you grow, you'll learn to begin to delegate. You'll learn to begin to, okay, let me go find someone to assist. Listen, let me just throw this little nugget out there. There are students who are business students who need to do an internship, a free one, right? You can find an intern student who needs to do an internship to bring them in to help you with your administrative work. A lot of people don't know that, but they need the hours. And they're looking for someone to teach them business. You're in business, right? So you can always do that research and go find someone. And a lot of people don't do that. But I know people who staff their businesses that way with interns every single year. Their turnover with staff is different, right? You might have to train a couple more times, but then you don't have to worry about kicking out extra money because they really just need the time and they need the experience. So I say that to say because you don't really necessarily, as you grow, start to delegate. I know it's your business. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to feel like that weight is on your shoulder. You don't have to always feel like I can't trust anyone. I can't do this. You could do a background check. It's so many different things that you could do. just as your business grows. But I really just, I wanted to take this time out today because like I was saying, as women, we encounter so much because we try to balance so much, and just even, balancing our business. We're trying to start again. We refer to our business as our baby more than just our business, right? And I find that a lot of women say that they be like, "That's my baby," like that, and we nurture it and we care for it. That's just how we title it. I've never really heard a man say, "My business is my baby," right? At all. I've never heard that. I've heard them say, "I'm starting a business," but I've never heard a man, you can correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you have heard one, but I've never heard a man say, "My baby, my business is my baby," at all. But that's how we're just nurturers, right? And we just nurture our business, and we develop it, and we take the time out. While we're trying to do that, we lose hours of sleep, we lose time because we're still trying to nurture our children, nurture our husbands, nurture our relationships, nurture our friends, nurture problems, situations. I got a bill, I'm a problem solver, right? And we try and we do so much and we carry so much. But yet, as you can see, everybody that's watching, I have 3 entrepreneurs on this screen with me who actually did it. So it is possible for you to do it. It's possible for you to start your business, overcome situations, overcome obstacles. And again, you have to believe in yourself. And if you need someone to walk alongside of you, I know that Alicia, she's coached before. She's starting a great mentorship business. Lydia, she coaches. Mimati, you could probably contact her and she can give you some tidbits and tidbits. And, and just find someone who's where you're trying to get to and ask them, can you mentor me? Can you walk alongside of me? Can you teach me and show me some things so that you can open up or progress in your business? Because me as a business owner, I have a coach. I'm a coach with a coach, right? Sometimes you need that person that you could go to and ask those questions. Google is fine, but sometimes it's better to talk to someone who has that experience, who you can actually talk to and run situations by, run a logo idea by, run a marketing idea by, hey, what do you think about this? Because you can't go to everyone who calls you a friend, right? People don't understand. They don't necessarily, again, like Alicia was saying, people who aren't entrepreneurs would never really understand. People who are entrepreneurs don't always understand what you're
always understand.
Not at all, because they're not doing it, because they're not called to do what you're gifted to do. Sometimes what you're destined to do, people won't understand that either. So you have to find that person who believes in you as much as you believe in yourself, and ask that person, like, hey, I'm trying to get to where you at. I tell my coach that all the time. I'm trying to get to where you at. I'm trying to, and just so that they can push you on those days when you feel like, you're not having your best week, you're not having your best day, you're not having your best moment. Just get that person, get a journal until you find that, write it out, write out your thoughts, write out your feelings, and then you could go back and you could see your growth. Because a lot of times, looking back and seeing where you started at and seeing when you're at, because sometimes when you're in the midst of it, we're so busy that we don't see it, right? And then you turn around and you look back and it's like, my coach was like, how many books did you sell? And I told him, and I'm like, wait, wow. He was like, I'm like really in shock, because sometimes when book sales are slow, you're like, should I write this next book? And I'm always transparent when I talk on the show, because those are just the things that we go through. But you have to push yourself. You have to always constantly encourage yourself. As Alicia was saying, you have to be your motivator. And when you don't have that motivation, go find someone who can help push you. And find someone to connect to who's where you're trying to get to, not somebody who's at the same level as you. It's good to have friends or whatever, but always try to find somebody that's going to challenge you to come up to where you want to be at, right? So I'm not going to constantly delay the time. If you have any questions, anyone that's watching, any comments, please feel free to post it. I'm going to ask you guys, we're going to go back around. If you could tell everyone how to contact you briefly, say your business name, what you do, and how they could contact you if they want to for conducting business. Lisa. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was looking on the screen like.
Okay. Alicia Baker, A to Z Germ Busters, LLC. My Instagram is A_2_Z_Germ Busters. My salon, Ultimate Impressions Beauty Salon, located in Long Branch, New Jersey. My Instagram is ultimateimpressionsalon.com. My phone number there is 732-272-1585. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again, Alicia, for coming. And Marty, how can we contact you and tell us about your great product again? Because some people came in late. I just want to make sure that we all here.
Mimari Balaga, G-tube rockers. It's basically adaptive wear for children with G-tubes. And the email is admin@gtuberockers.com.
All right. You have a website?
www.gtuberockers.com.
And okay. Thank you, Marty. And Lydia, can you tell us about your business and how we can locate you?
Certainly. My business is LP Consulting, and if you are looking to do some business planning, or you want to negotiate for a raise, you want to updo your resume, you want to work on your professional portfolio, you need some business coaching, give me a call. My contact is lpconsultingservices@gmail.com. My phone number is 862-234-5989. I have a Facebook page, which is LP Consulting. And I normally go live every day. I haven't been on about a month. I told you I'm busy.
She ain't talked to her coach lately either, y'all.
And I haven't talked to my coach lately. But definitely connect with me. I do a free consultation, and we just get those things up and out. And then we talk about what could be possible, some things that we can do in the future. So look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, and thank you again, ladies. So again, you guys, I am Santrisa, Coach Santrisa, and I am the CEO of Inspired by You, as well as the CEO of Releasing My Secret. I also penned Releasing My Secret, a 30-day devotional to support your healing process. I deal with helping people come through traumatic situations, helping them to release those things that were meant to keep them bound, as well as I am a small business mentor where I walk people through the process when they're trying to start a business and just progress in their business. I also do vision board parties, vision board sessions that's entitled Vision to Reality. We have done them in person. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we haven't done any recently, but we do have the opportunity to do them virtual, where we can talk and do life planning and just look everything over in regards to that. So I'm really excited. In regards to that, you can reach me at my website, which is www.santresaw.com. That's SANTERESA. I'm also on Facebook, which is Santrisa Wilson, and Inspired by You, which is the page that you follow to actually see the show. Please go and like the page and follow me. We do have shows where we come on and we talk about various things. I'm also on Instagram, Santrisa W, and also Inspired by You LLC, as well as Santrisa Wilson on Instagram. And I am on Shapebar, which is Santrisa Wilson, which is a networking program. A networking site where you can network with other entrepreneurs. So I am so excited. Again, you guys, I want to thank you for coming on. Everyone said, I just want to let you know, very informative, great session. Listen, if you missed something, you heard something, you want to hear it again, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It will be on my YouTube channel, the replay of this show, as well as will be on Facebook. Please, again, share the information. It was very informative. They have great products. Visit their websites, visit their social media sites. Listen, you need disinfectant, call Alicia. You need your hair done, call Alicia. You need some business plans, call Lydia. You need some baby G-tube clothes, call Marty. Listen, if you just need some advice as an aspiring entrepreneur, we are here. And I'm pretty sure that they're open to, speak to you, give you some information. They provided their email addresses. So if you missed it, you didn't write it down, again, you'll be able to catch it again right here on Facebook. The show will be live. So I want to thank you guys again for coming on. I want to thank you guys for watching, for tuning in with us. Listen, Inspired by You is a company that inspires people to change. And when they look at you, they'll say, I changed because I am inspired by you. Listen, you guys, have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you guys in about 2 weeks for the next show. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.